We took the skincare brand from $73 to $170,000 per month from email revenue, which accounts for 61% of their total store revenue. And a big part of that growth came from one special method that we used in their campaigns, which I'm about to show you in this video. The interesting thing is that I barely see any brands doing this. And honestly, they're missing out on a massive opportunity to stand out in a sea of promotional emails. Because in this new era of AI, people just lack trust and human connection more than ever. And the brands that know how to build that trust are the ones that are gonna win. If you don't know me, my name is Siv and I'm the founder of LTV Labs. And over the years, we've worked with over 150 plus e-commerce brands and have generated over $100 million in email revenue. Let's get into it. And so the brand that we're talking about here is called Miyamo Skincare. They sell a lot of Korean style skincare, such as toxins, fillers, Korean skin boosters, that sort of thing. And they came to us back in 2025. I believe that they were doing around a couple $100,000 per month, every single month, really just relying really heavily on meta ads, Google ads, SEO, that sort of thing. And fundamentally, they didn't really have any sort of email marketing system in place. I remember they just had maybe the welcome series and a basic abandoned checkout flow in place. And so you can see on my screen right here, this is January 1st to January 31st, 2025. So I believe we came on board towards the end of January, but you can see right here, only $73 coming from Klaviyo, right? So $73 that was generated directly from Klaviyo. That's where kind of they were starting at before they started working with us. Exactly a year later, January 1st to January 31st, 2026, you can see their Klaviyo attributed conversions is $164,000, with 90,000 of this coming from campaigns and the other 73,000 coming from the flows. So as you can see, it's a pretty significant increase just in a span of a year. And this is something that we're continuing to grow and continuing to optimize month after month after month. And so having this massive increase in revenue over the last 12 months has really allowed them to pour even more money into their front end cold traffic, knowing now that they have confidence that they have an email marketing infrastructure in place with campaigns and flows that are supporting their overall, holistic marketing approach, because oftentimes people aren't buying these products on their very first visit. And so now this brand has a lot of confidence with these flows that we've set up, especially that we're able to really educate and nurture people into, making their first purchase with the brand. So the very first thing that we wanted to look at was their pop-up form, right? Their original pop-up form was converting at around 2 to 3%, wasn't really designed aesthetically, and just was leaving a lot of money on the table because a lot of people were not opting in. And so the main KPI that we were optimizing for was the opt-in rate, right? So we wanted to get it to a 6 to 10% opt-in rate. I believe right now we're at around an 11% opt-in rate with their pop-up form. And again, the pop-up form is going to be the number one way that you're going to be able to grow your email list. And so, before we even started setting up the foundational flows or even started sending out campaigns, we wanted to make sure that we had the baseline foundation of actually getting enough emails entered into their ecosystem. So that way, when the flows and the campaigns do come into effect, they'll be doing a lot of the heavy lifting. So pop-up form is going to be the number one thing. The second thing is the actual flows that we wanted to build out for them. And so for every e-commerce brand, there's around 7 to 9 essential core flows that I recommend that every brand has. That's the welcome series, the site abandonment, the browse abandonment, the cart abandonment, the checkout abandonment. Also on the post-purchase side, there's the new customer post-purchase, repeat customer post-purchase, customer win-back, and the VIP flow. And so we kind of worked our way from the highest priority to the lowest priority. Obviously, the highest priority flows was going to be like the welcome series and the abandoned checkout. And as you can see on my screen here, you can see these flows kind of correlate with what I showed you on this visual flow chart. You'll see the abandoned checkout just in a span of 30 days has generated over $33,000. The abandoned cart, which by the way is a separate flow than the abandoned checkout, which a lot of brands don't understand, that brought in an additional $20,000. Welcome series has brought in $6,000. The browse abandonment has brought in $5,000. Customer win back $2,500, so on and so forth. And so again, our main priority was making sure that these flows fundamentally were set up with the right timing, the right number of emails, the right strategy, the right logic, etc., etc. The next thing that we wanted to look at is actually making sure that we're sending enough campaigns. Biggest mistake I see if you watch some of my other videos is that a lot of brands just are too scared to send out multiple campaigns per week. And so with this brand, we started sending out 2 campaigns per week and then gradually increased that to 3. And so as you can see here, you want to send ideally 2 to 3 campaigns per week, with around 75 to 80% being value educational driven emails, the other 20 to 25% being promotional emails like holiday sales, new product drops, discounts, etc. And again, you want to study the best performing campaigns and reiterate that into next month's campaign calendar, which I'll get into. But just to show you some of the results on some of the campaigns we launched for this month, we did the customer review showcase email. That one generated $4,000 in revenue. And this is just an email that's going over customers that have used the product, showcasing some before and afters, some testimonials, that sort of thing. We're not even selling in this email. and it's already generated $4,000. We did triple cashback final days. That one did around $5,500. We did a blog and content announcement. So basically this email is just announcing that we have a blog and that we're, regularly going to start posting content. That one alone had a 46% open rate and $8,000, nearly $8,000 in revenue generated from that campaign. And then we did a Bow Beauty 2+1 launch, which is like one of their new product launches that they did. And that one did over $6,200 in revenue. So as you can see, sending out campaigns for this brand was super significant because it generated thousands of dollars of revenue that they otherwise would not have had. And so again, when we first started working with this brand, they weren't really sending out any campaigns at all, maybe one campaign every couple of months whenever the founder had time. And lastly, the part that a lot of brands overlook is the list cleaning mechanism. We did the sunset flow for them, basically re-engaging profiles that are known to be unengaged from your emails. We set up a couple different idle segments, like the never active profile segment. So for example, people that have received, 20 emails in the past, but they haven't opened or clicked any of them. And then also any idle profiles. So any profiles that were created over 6 months ago and have been completely unengaged from emails over the last 72 weeks. We went ahead and removed those people as well. And so once a month, actually what we do for them currently is that we actually suppress all the people that are unengaged, even after we try to re-engage with them. And if they're still unengaged, we definitely suppress them from the list. And that serves two benefits. Number one, we're improving deliverability. So we're getting more of their emails into the primary inbox, which is exactly what we want, because you could have the best looking emails, the best offers, the best strategy. But if emails are landing in the promotions folder or the spam folder, then you're kind of just wasting your efforts with the email marketing side of things. And so we're focusing on our highly engaged segments with our campaign sends. And the second benefit to cleaning the list and improving deliverability is that we're lowering their Klaviyo bill. So instead of spending a really high amount of money like they were spending before to Klaviyo, now we're only paying for the profiles that are actually meaningful and productive from a revenue standpoint. In fact, with one of our other clients, we were able to save them over $2,500 per month that they were spending on Klaviyo without even realizing it. And they were just spending it on dead profiles that were not engaged with their emails or no longer engaged with the brand. And so this is a very, very significant part of our strategy when we work with any brand. Now, what I'm about to show you is one thing that truly made a difference in this brand's emails. You see, most email marketing advice tells you to keep people inside the email, push them to a product page, and get them to check out as quickly as possible. And that's not necessarily wrong, but in a sea of promotional emails and tons of salesy, aggressive emails, trust is just lower than ever. So instead of pushing people towards a purchase, we instead actually pulled them towards the brand. So here's what we did. Instead of sending a typical promotional email, we took one of the founder's existing YouTube videos, a video where the founder is actually sitting down, talking about their products, and sharing a little bit more about the story behind the brand. And we linked it directly inside of the email campaign. And so my thought process behind this email is that I wanted to, have like an educational style email. I didn't want to just have like a link to the YouTube video and just have people watch it. I wanted to provide value up front and then kind of lead them into a YouTube video that made sense alongside the email, right? So, with this specific email, we did PN versus PDRN, which, in the world of Korean skincare, it kind of fits in with their branding. So really what the purpose of this email was is to explain the difference between these two terms. So for example, it says, if you've ever felt unsure about what these terms really mean, you're not alone. So we're really just speaking to the identity of the customer and like letting them know that we empathize with them, whether it's post-acne recovery, lifting, pigmentation, or signs of aging. Watch our video and find out which one is better suited to your skin needs. So, we're kind of naturally directing them and priming them to actually watch a video directly from the founder. We're not just, sending the video. We're actually, giving them a reason to watch the video so that way they can truly understand. And this is really, really beneficial for people that are more sort of visual learners or auditory learners, because, that video goes a really, really long way to accomplish that. So right underneath that, we have, here's the answer. We have a CTA, a really big, nice CTA that says watch the video. Again, this is going to link directly to the YouTube video. And it even explains like in this video what they can expect, right? We're not just linking the video again. We're actually, going into a little bit of detail into like what they can expect from watching the video, because with YouTube, you don't want to sit through an entire video if you're not really sure what it's going to be about. You don't want to waste your time watching a video. So in this video, we explain what are PN and PDRN, key differences in function, how they're used in aesthetic medicine, PN and PDRN in sensitive areas, and finally, which one should you choose? So we're kind of developing what the payoff is going to be from watching the video. The main point of this entire email is really to have the customer understand which one should they choose, right? And then we even go into detail about like, a couple of different of their products, like the Rejuron Healer and the Unitique PN. with a little bit of information around what they're best for, and even call to action buttons directly to their products there. And we even have another CTA that kind of goes over shopping all PN boosters. And as you can see right here, we actually included a thumbnail to the actual video itself with the CTA below that. And my thought process behind including the thumbnail inside of the video is to really show people like, hey, this is what you can expect, when you click on the video, actually showing an image of the founder, it's going to improve the CTR of the actual video itself. And so we wanted to include this and also have, again, a link to that YouTube video. And then, towards the bottom, we added some extra gifts. We have an exclusive offer launch that we did, another shop now. We also did a free Medicube gift for first-time customers. And then obviously we have the footer right here. So again, this is a really, really powerful tool and strategy that we use. And a lot of people actually clicked on this watch the video button. The side benefit is that, as this brand continues to grow their YouTube channel, the email list is going to be a great traffic source to get people onto the YouTube channel and as subscribers. And so now they're multi-channel, right? Instead of just someone being on their email list, if they're a YouTube subscriber, every time they launch a new video, they're going to be reminded, hey, Miyamo just launched a new video. They're going to be building a lot of authority and trust when it comes to Korean skincare. And so overall, really, really flawless strategy here. And also, like, in a world where things are just kind of more leaning towards AI and being very, very artificial, this really just humanizes the brand, showing that there's a real founder behind the company. They back their products. They're getting in front of the camera and like actually speaking about their products. Nothing actually shows confidence about a brand than someone that's willing to get in front of the camera and speak directly to their audience and to their customers about the products that they have to offer and what separates them from other brands, and also just diving deeper into the education side of things. We want people to, buy from this email. Obviously, the main goal is always going to be revenue, but we want people to actually watch this video in its entirety, because by the end of the video, they're truly going to understand the product. And most importantly, it's going to build that trust and authority with the brand. And so every time we launch emails, they're going to have in their subconsciously in their mind that this brand is legitimate. And again, just to show you the results, right? These are just a couple of the results of the YouTube video style emails. This one had a 45% open rate, 47% open rate, close to a 2% click rate. And then this one generated over $7,500 in revenue. And this one generated over $9,500 in revenue. So very, very similar concept. These are the type of results that you're able to generate if you have that YouTube style content within your emails itself. By the way, if you want to see more campaign angles that we use across many of the other brands that we work with, then you can grab my email revenue playbook using the link down below. It covers literally everything I've learned about email marketing over the last 10 years of doing this. Just click the first link in the description to get your copy. Now, you might be thinking, okay, this all sounds great, but what if I don't have a YouTube channel, or what if I don't have the time to create this style of content? The good news is you've got other options. There are plenty of different ways that you can build trust with your customers. The first one is a founder style video that's shot on your phone. The brand doesn't need a full YouTube channel. The founder can just create a short raw video on their phone, just talking about their product, what separates them from other brands, and really just a story behind the products and their brand as well. An unpolished raw video actually works in your favor because it actually can come off a lot more genuine. So, feel free just to use the first take. The second method is a personal email from the founder. Instead of a branded campaign email, the founder can just write a plain text email, which is super simple to set up. And the beauty of this is that it actually looks like you just hit the compose button on Gmail and that you're writing to a friend. And the reason we've seen this to work so well is because it humanizes the brand. It cuts through the noise in the inbox, because when you're able to send an email directly from the founder, just a plain black and white text email, it actually looks like you're genuinely writing to them. And that goes a long way, especially in this day and age with AI and all these different automations and, different artificial tools. Just having that genuine personal human connection goes a long way, especially because people love shopping with brands that actually care about their experience. And the third method is a customer story or transformation. So you can have a detailed story-driven feature about a customer's real experience with your product. Not a standard testimonial, but an actual narrative, where they were before, what they've tried in the past, what's changed, and also how they found out about the brand as well. People connect with stories more than any product descriptions ever written. I hope you take the advice from this video and actually apply it. Focus on delivering real value in your emails and drawing people into your brand instead of always just trying to sell them. We're living in a time where AI is generating more content than ever before. More emails, more ads, more copy. And people can feel it, right? They're more skeptical, they're more guarded, and they're just far more selective in terms of what brands they allow into their world. And the brands that are going to win are going to be the ones that can create a genuine connection with their audience and build a truly loyal, almost cult-like following. So if you want to learn how to write emails that people actually look forward to receiving and keep them coming back over and over and over again, then click the link below to download the email revenue playbook. But if you'd rather just have my team handle all of this for you, like we've done for hundreds of other e-commerce brands, then there's another link down below where you can book in a call directly with me. I'll personally take a look at your Klaviyo account and let you know if you're a good fit for our email system. That's it for today. I'll see you in the next one.